So we just made it through, so to speak, the 2016 presidential elections, and I think that a lot of people are kind of in shock and disbelief relative to the outcome. So now we have Donald Trump.
How is that so? Hasn't the outcome been going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that the candidate was actually a candidate is a shock in itself, which means, yeah, that there was something else going on.
Somebody voted him in.
Yeah.
Someone put him there and supported it, so it's what the people want. Some people.
Yeah.
Some people need it. They need a reflection of themselves. See, they haven't had an opportunity to see themselves in other candidates, it seems. See, other aspirants to the high office, see, of the almost king, presidente.
Yeah.
All the power, with all the power is assumed to be. Yeah. So, no surprise. It's just a continuation. System of voting, freedom to vote, and you have to watch out what you vote for. It might be dangerous. That's simple.
So it seems like we live in a country where some functional majority of us has chosen somebody, who's very racist, sexist.
It's like other people. Yeah, he's one in the many. See, racism goes blood deep. It's ancient ancestral sort of bias of ancestral bigotry. See, yeah, it's deep.
Yeah, and
so it's showing up. But it was always there. In this case, it was always there. See? And people were hoping for something else out of the deal, and what they got was what there is. And some people need it, they love it, they get validation from it, they get power from it. See? And then others get nothing from it. So it's like a slip down the time track, going to before. Because it can't be in the now. See? That requires too much evolution. So, minus the evolutionary aspect, you have something that's historic or prehistoric in nature. And it's American, or all of it's un-American. So it's American. Remember, America is where there's tolerance. Tolerance, handling difference with dignity. And respect, maybe decency, some cases. So it gives one an opportunity to pause and see if they actually have a life or not. Do you have a real life? Does anyone have a real life beyond their need to see theater? Social, political, or otherwise? Is there anything deeper than that going on? Have you any higher purpose? So that is what is posed to each one. Is there any higher purpose in any of it? Or other purpose than entertainment, right? And disappointment, and exhilaration for others, and accomplishment? Is there no more than that? It's much more than that. If you're breathing, you're good. If you're being, you're even better. And if you're humorous, best. It's not about anyone but you. You are the president being of your world. You better preside over it properly. Mind your own presiding business. Yeah.
And relative to that, here we are just coming out of this shitstorm of, division.
It's always been there.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
And
division and unity co-emerge. Oneness and division are viewpoints. We do get to a stage where there's nothing happening. See? Just being is happening. Being present is happening. Very delicate. The presence of being. And all the noise goes on despite that. So then it's a question of, do you belong to the noise world or the peace world? If you belong to the noise world, you're like a ball bouncing off the walls of its games. If you belong to the peace world, and you just stay steady as a rock, clear as a bell, and ready to move forward and up as needed, without obstacles, without confusion, without despair, without disappointment, without egoic programs altogether gone. It's unbearable. So you have much to be grateful for that you forget in these moments of disappointment. Because the ego's like, no, can't be. I won't have it that way. So bent out of shape, see. That's the little picture, see, from the little mind. And there's a big picture relative to the big mind of so what? There are many who are positioned to do something with that chaos because it's their job. And then they become the counter-insurgency. They become the anti-peeps. See? And that's their game, that's their sport, that's their practice. And they balance it out. They become the opponents, see? And then ideally the stronger next time. In other words, they're studying it to learn from mistakes, flubs, See, errors of judgment. See, miscalculations. Yeah. Mm. 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 So they're part of the noise. And the balance of the noise with better noise, other noise, so that they in turn become opposed. They in turn become good, right, and in turn wrong. If you have to go, you have to go. And if you have to lose, that's a gain. And if you win, that might be a loss.
I think a lot of people who are feeling, marginalized or not represented, any sort of minority women, are wondering, what now? What do I do? This may be all well and good and in the flow, but what do I do?
This is not about what happens to you. It's about what you do that happens to you. What you think and feel that happens to you. Everyone their own source of what happens to them, according to laws of karma, cause and effect agreement. And solution. You have to be your own solution. Putting what is yours in the hands of others could be a dangerous proposition. Put your life in the hands of others. Be on track. Make sure you have your straight direction. From point to point clear. What does that have to do with conventional politics? Good question. You have to combine higher principles with your social, political ambitions and hope they align. Seems this was a great alignment for some. A great opportunity to reflect for others. It's not right or wrong. It's all in the votes. This is a voting game. You have to vote for your liberation. Your ultimate liberation. I'd vote for it. I'm voting for it. I've already voted for it. Why vote for less?
How can we use what feels like all of this bad noise to deepen our practice?
No, it's not true. It's not true. Surface noise. It's not real noise. There is no real noise. See? But you're the source of all your noise. See? It's all being reflected back to you. Your relationship to it. It's like a mirror. You see yourself in all of it. Put your attention on that which is not going to bring noise. See? As there is no noise, there is silence. Where? Despite all the crazies, there is silence. If all you have is resonance with the noise, then it's real for you. If you have resonance with silence, then it's real for you. Can you tolerate silence? Or is that too deep for you? It is much deeper, much, much deeper than surface noise. See? Blah, blah. Much deeper. Follow the brain to its core, see what you hear. Follow the heart to its core, see what you hear. Yeah. There are those whose purpose is to become angered. Yeah. And that becomes their fuel, their motivation, see? Their drive, see? For change. Yeah. They don't care about the noise. They don't hear noise. See? They hear opportunity. See? And so they must go their way. And they do. That's a few. Even if it's many, still a few. So then there are those who are part of the machinery. And love it. Highs and lows, disappointments and successes. They love it. They love the circus of it. That's their work. That's their place. See? That's their real place and space. And there are others who tag along for who knows what good reason. They have their purpose. To see what happens. Hopefully they learn from that, as those who are more extremely involved learn something beyond what they're doing. Everyone has their time, so you got a certain amount of time to spend in these activities. See? And struggling for results. And they come and they go, like everyone comes and goes. So if you enjoy that, and you feel complete about it, it is complete. But if you can see beyond all of it, say, there's something more fulfilling in the spirit, say, of awakening beyond neuroses. That is good also. So as we are not bodies or minds or faces or emotions, we are not parties. We are not factions. We are human spirit souls, already complete, but mysteriously so. Many in the body-mind have no recognition of deepness or spirit, real, or what is true. They believe, they follow, they are impressed by, and participate with glee in the masses, the way of the masses. And what is beyond that does not occur or arise or appear obvious to them. For that is their addiction, that is their high, that's their orgasm. Their heaven, so be it, to each their own. When it turns into a hell, some rethink their course and maybe plot a different course. Because what they really want is success. See? They want heavenly bliss.
Relative to groups of people, and being a part of a community or a mob or whatever you're part of.
Good word. Mob.
Does one have any responsibility to other groups of people?
Only as assumed and perceived, or imagined. And then for how long? And for what purpose? There are those who are 100% with what they're doing. And it's a do and die situation for them. There are others who think less, but participate and wait for themselves to find another lead somewhere to move or step away accordingly. Say, okay, this is done, tried this, did it, it's done. Now, what? For themselves. They may say this wasn't fun. Others would say this was great fun, got to do it again. Okay. So it's really self, say, centered, self-building what? To what degree? When does the fulfillment come in some form of awakening? Say, done this is good, it's complete now. We got the right person in office now, the great accomplishment. They're allowed to think that. They got the right person in office. The universe had nothing to do with it. Solar system had nothing to do with it. Time had nothing to do with it. Destiny had nothing to do with it. Karma has nothing to do with it. Oh.
From a certain perspective, karma and the universe and time is the only thing doing it. That is what's going on. It's not anybody in particular.
So then there's no need for suffering. No need for feeling failure, since it's really in the hands of the cosmos, so to speak. Right? And that could be the cosmos relative to time. And that determines, well, for a certain period of itself as time, this rises and falls. Or, this thing is exposed for what it is. Everyone see it now very clearly. Now, what will you do about what this thing is, people? No hiding it now.
Though this is a video pretty much about this election, these candidates, the state of America and the world right now, this is still also just about wisdom and about how wisdom sees through.
Well, the appearances of time-based situations, which are part of a constant, they change. But wisdom doesn't change. Right? The now never changes. This moment is forever. But it's not the moment of changes. It's the moment of changelessness. So everyone has had an opportunity to help create this, whatever it is, this change or fiasco, depending on what side of the fence you're on. And then it's time to let it go, move on. Let it be. Yeah. And go deeper to create what else there is to create. Seeing this has its own life now. There's always infinitely more to see, hear, feel, know, and be. But this situation is done now. Now it's got to fulfill its karmic purpose, whatever that is, high and low, dark or light. It's on its way. And the whole world, it seems, has had good warning already as to what it is and what its nature is. And they will expect more of the same. But you have to find your peace despite it, because it's not about that. Okay? There's much more to be doing to balance what that appears to be, see, for the sake of healing and for the sake of those who are receptive, responsive, or in need of a certain level of healing beyond the politic. Polity. The reality of the spirit and the soul is unchangeable. It is what it is. And it doesn't count. It doesn't move you in a certain way or not. It just is what it is. And your karma, yourself, and your blood tendencies move you where they take you. And at any second in that process, you can stop, look, and listen to what's real beyond that and true to your inner universe. Where there's zero. And because there's zero, there's direction. And because there's direction, there's also peace. And if there's peace, there's creativity. If there's creativity, then there is imagination. And if there's imagination, there are infinite possibilities. So why fixate and suffer it?